It's time to set up your FTP information. Your service provider will have given you all of the details necessary to fill in this page. First, enter the name of your FTP server. This might be something like ftp.myhost.com or www.myhost.com. Go ahead and enter the information into the field. Great. Now you're going to want to add your blog URL. This is the full actual web address where your blog is going to reside. Since my host is CourageSisters.com and my blog is Magnificent Molly, I want my blog to reside at www.CourageSisters.com/magnificentmolly. Go ahead and add your URL, including the HTTP prefix. Terrific. Okay, so now you need to know the FTP path. This is the path to the directory that will contain all the files for your blog. Paths usually begin with something like public_HTML or simply www, but your service provider is going to have to let you know exactly what that path is. Then you add the name of the directory to that. So my path, which begins with public_HTML, turns out to be public_HTML/magnificentmolly. Go ahead and enter your path. And then you want to add the blog file name. The blog file name is the file which contains your blog. Typically, this is the file called index.html or index.htm. Again, your service provider will let you know the standard for that service. In most cases, index.html is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and use that now. As you can see, Blogger warns you that if a file of this nature already exists in that directory on that server, it will be overwritten. So be very careful to make sure that there isn't a file there already by that name that has any kind of information that you want. Okay, so the next thing is the FTP username. Under the FTP username, enter the username for your FTP server. This is not necessarily your Blogger username, unless you set it up that way with your host provider. So go ahead and enter the username. And then you're going to want to add your password. Again, this may have nothing to do with the password you set up on Blogger unless you set them up to be the same way. Whether you've used the same password is completely up to you, but just as you can see, it gets a little confusing. So be sure to keep track of the different user IDs and names and passwords for your own safety's sake. So go ahead and add that. And then you'll see a final option on the page, which is pingweblogs.com. This is a notification service that lets the whole world know when your blog has been updated. We don't want to use this just yet, so we'll cover that in a later chapter. Go ahead and click Save Settings. If you get any errors, go back and be sure you've got all the correct information from your host provider. As you can see, I've made no errors and my settings were saved successfully. I am now publishing via FTP. If you've made no errors and gotten this same page, congratulations.